I hope y'all love that intro because I could not see it on my end. But we are officially live. Hello to all my BC Wrestle Pod nerds out there, and welcome to another rendition of the Takedown Troop, your weekly TNA review show here at the BC Wrestle Pod. Of course, I am El Jefe of these BC Wrestle Pod parts, Mikey, and joining me this evening are my two favorite individuals on the whole planet. I love these lovable folks down here. First and foremost, you know him, you love him. He is my tag team partner in life in general, but he helps me with the TNAs, the NXTs, and the CMLL. Mr. Papa also himself, Will, who, you know what? We have a lot to talk about because I have feelings about certain.
Yep, me too.
I was just like, I hope your significant others don't mind.
That's fine. I've been called all sorts of different things. It wouldn't be the first time.
You know what? I'm fascinated to learn more about that later when we get off the air. But we are here to review another episode of TNA. This, the episode from last night, Thursday, September 4th. But before we get into all of that, a little bit of housekeeping. If you like what you see here on the screen, you can follow us on the YouTubes, the Twitch, the Kicks, whatever your preferred streaming or video watching platform is. And, we love you for it. So make sure you like the video, subscribe, follow us, all the good stuff. But we also understand that full-length reviews is not your thing, especially for those of us that don't have a lot of time in our lives. So if that is you and you still want to participate in our lovely BC WrestlePod community, then might I suggest you follow us on one of the many social media platforms that we are on at BC WrestlePod. We're on the Blue Sky, the Threads, the Instagram. We're on Facebook. It is wild out here in the wild, wild west of wrestling. But of course, if you would like to support us financially, and we also got some merchandise available for you at our lovely site of bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com, where you can find all sorts of good stuff, whether you want t-shirts, tank tops. We're about to enter the fall, so it's about to be sweater weather season, hoodies, and you know what? I'm super excited because it's going to be a really good time. So you can find the link in the chat and the video description below, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. Alrighty, now that we've gotten that out of the way, gentlemen, let's get into this TNA episode. Once again, this was another live one for us. And okay, so I'm not going to lie, for those of you watching at home, this is going to be a little bit of a rougher one because, again, this was a lot of setup. And, the matches that we got were not necessarily the funnest. So, again, we have questions that that TNA is going to need to answer for us in the next coming weeks because this is kind of getting wild out here. Let's just jump straight into it because first, let's kick things off. Santino starts us off, and well, when you told me, like, does Santino have a black eye? I'm like, yes, he does, because he was competing in a jiu-jitsu tournament and took first place. So he kind of has a gnarly looking shiner on his eye. Because I thought the same thing. I'm like, holy crap, Santino, who beat you up? And like, what happened? And then I remembered, I was like, oh, wait, never mind. I forgot. This man does like Brazilian jiu-jitsu for fun. So I'm like, okay, Santino, get down with it. But Santino opens up the show because he's talking about all the craziness that is happening, especially in the TNA World Championship picture after everything that happened last week with Trick Williams and his attorney and all that stuff. Santino announces that per Trick Williams' contract from his lawyer, he does not need to defend his championship for the next 50 days or so. And I'm just sitting here, I was just like, okay. And so Trick will not be in TNA in that time. I was like, oh, great. Building up to Bound for Glory without the TNA World Champion in the building. Okay. Which also I was just like, this is where this working relationship between NXT and TNA is really starting to rear its ugly head on being so one-sided, but I digress. But hey, if that means that Mike Santana is going to be crashing down the NXT door and dragging Trick Will through it, I'm kind of here for it. So, which gets into what Santino announces, that Trick Williams will defend his title, the TNA World title, after those 50 days, which happens to be at Bound for Glory. And so Santino makes Mike Santana the number one contender to face Trick Williams for that, given everything that has happened within the last couple of months since Slammiversary. So it is made official that at Bound for Glory in October, it will be Trick Williams defending the TNA World Championship against the number one contender via Santino, Mr. Boricua himself, Mike Santana. And all I have to say is if Mike Santana loses, we run.
There's no way. I mean, this has got to be the moment where they take it back. I can't imagine with all of the crap they've put us through, and I'm going to use the word crap because a lot of it has been. There's no way Mike Santana is not walking away with that belt.
It makes sense. You know, you hold out for 50 days or so, and then spontaneously he's back at, Bound for Glory. So, like, this would be a nice little, like, hey, we gave him time for his belt. Now let's give it back to guys at TNA.
Yeah. Because, and let's be honest, Trick Williams has done absolutely zero for that belt. Like, what has he done? I mean, what have we gotten out of him holding that belt other than minor stuff that we would get normally? I mean, nothing major has really come from this, and the idea of they're like, oh, because we wanted it to be this amazing thing for Mike Santana to get the belt. I mean, you could have done that with TNA talent. You didn't have to do that with NXT talent.
Yeah, they could have kept the Mustafa Ali and Santana
Yeah.
dispute back and forth. That'd have been great.
Yep.
I mean, you could have had Mike Santana win it at Slammiversary. I mean, it wasn't like we weren't in his hometown of New York, but I digress.
No, I agree.
So, I mean, at this point, I was just like, I'm really rooting for Mike Santana. But again, who knows? Because this needs to be it. I need Trick to drop this to Mike, and this is how Mike gets it. Let Mike go for the rest of 2025 and the good chunk of 2026 as champion. Because I feel like since coming to TN for the last year and a half, he's been here. Put this championship belt on this man. And he is so over with the fans. I'm like, give this man the title finally. Damn. Like,
no, seriously.
I swear if Trick Williams still walks out of Bound for Glory as the champion in some capacity, I am going to be I'm not going to lie to TNA. I'm going to be very upset. I mean, to be fair, some weeks be feeling like that. I mean, Papa also here had to deal with a blindfold match. I was like, this is really stupid.
Yep.
That blindfold match was really dumb. And so this is one of these moments in wrestling as a fan. I was just like, there is only one correct answer here. And if we don't get it, then I don't know what we're doing, but I digress. So this is technically the second match made for Bound for Glory, because the first one that we found out was, after Slammiversary was the Hardys versus Team 3D. The Dudleys in one final match. This is going to be a car crash. I'm like, oh, Lord, help us. But I digress. So this is officially made for Bound for Glory. Don't know what Mike is going to be doing at Victory Road. We will probably find out in the next couple of weeks. But I will say that promo that Mike cut after coming out, after Santino announced this, I was just like, I swear to God, TNA, put this belt on this man. I swear. Anyways, let's move on to the next bit of the show, though, because listen, TNA, I love you, but we got to fix these audio issues. We were better this time around, but I was just like, I can barely hear Mara. I can barely hear Miss Sade over here in the Hardys. And then the camera, you waited too long to cut back to the arena. I was like, they're just staring into my soul. I don't like it. I will say though, Mara Sade, loving the Lita cosplay and inspired gear for this one with the fishnets and everything. I was like, get it, girl. But yeah, so Monday and the Hardys talk about, they're going to face Order 4. They're going to take them out and things like that. So basically the typical promo we get setting up a match that is going to happen later. But I'm like, y'all, these live episodes are killing me with the audio. I was like, get it together.
Yeah, and all
there's
the video too.
There's like three of us right here that have the ability to do that. Just saying.
Oh, the three of us are actually spicy. So I'm so excited for this. It's going to be, listen, the more upset we are, the better the episodes tend to feel afterwards. I'm not even going to lie, because I was like, I love wrestling, but sometimes it makes me mad too.
And we haven't even really gotten to the spicy area yet.
Oh my gosh, just hold on, because we're going to get there in a little bit. Because after this, though, hold on. Let me
stop.
My big brother is returning to TNA tonight. And I was just like,
I'm going to throw up.
I'm going to be so for real. TNA, I love you, but right now, I don't know who's more annoying, my big brother, or actually, no. Right now, it was because it was a good thing, but I was like, do you want to know something?
I will take that over this any day.
Seriously? So Ryan Nemeth is in the ring to remind us that his brother, Nick Nemeth, is returning to TNA after being suspended by Santino. which equals, Nick Nemeth is out here on the independents over the last
Yeah,
couple weeks doing shows, which were really fun to watch him in, especially again,
you're way.
him in the GCW versus Juggalo Championship Wrestling 2-day war show was kind of bizarre to watch. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, we're at the gathering of the Juggalos. For those of you who don't know, that's the giant music festival that Insane Clown Posse throws every single year. So I was just like, this is kind of weird and bizarre, but I'm kind of here for it. But Ryan lets us know this. And then, Matt Cardona comes out, and I was like, Matt, I love you. I really, really do. And thank you for saying something, because he's basically telling Ryan, you kind of need to shut up and get out of the ring, because I'm going to wrestle right now, and you're annoying. Nobody wants to hear your mouth. And I was like, thank you, Matt. Thank you. So
Yep.
Ryan leaves, Matt gets into the ring, which leads into our first match. But
Can
before
I
there,
just say, before we
yeah,
jump into that,
go for it.
I need to comment about Ryan Nemeth.
Eh.
I need to comment on both of them real quick. Is it just me, or is their whole thing giving off incestuous vibes?
Okay,
'Cause, you know,
I kind of sort of felt that the first like maybe 2 or 3 episodes that I saw while I was watching this. I was like, "Oh, that's okay." So at least I'm not 100% crazy. Okay,
no, it
No,
literally. And then this one, when he was saying "my big bro," I was like,
that's creepy,
the
dude.
way he said it was
it was
super creepy.
somebody call 911 right now.
I mean,
Somebody call 911 right now.
I'm serious. It was so weird. The minute he came out of his mouth, I was like, "Whoa, what is happening right now?"
No.
Yeah, go away. So yeah. Anyway, I had to see if I was being crazy, if I was the only one. But okay.
No, it's getting really weird, and we're blurring lines that we shouldn't. I'm like, this is not okay. But again, Ryan actually leaves. Matt's in the ring, and we finally get to our first match of the episode: Matt Cardona versus, Frankie Kazarian. This is how I personally feel. Matt Cardona, Frankie Kazarian, StreamYard messed up by including a soundboard now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Never let the ADHD on the spectrum and, queer folks get a hold of it, because we're going to add all the things. So be prepared, StreamYard. But okay,
What was the point of this match?
there wasn't one. I was like, I didn't know they had beef like that to warrant a match. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like,
Me
there is
either.
no beef. What is happening?
they just
I
have
was
dartboards in the back. They're like, "Okay, so who's gonna have beef today?" And they're like,
I know,
"Yeah,
that's exactly what it
Cardona,
feels.
Kazarian. Okay, you guys go fuck it up somewhere else."
I'm really starting to get tired of Frankie Kazarian. Like, and I hate that, because I like Frankie Kazarian, the human being. This character, though, I'm kind of getting over it real fast. It's like the same thing every single time we see him. There's no difference. There's nothing different about it.
Yep.
So I'm just like,
why?
yeah, seriously. And I'm like, Matt Cardona, you're better than that, man. Why'd you debase yourself and fight this guy? I mean, it's literally, and then you lost. And it's just
Well,
like,
yeah, and then what makes it worse is Matt didn't just lose because, Frankie got the better of him. He lost because Ryan
yeah,
was the cause of a distraction for Matt, which would allow Frankie Kazarian to hit his finisher and pick up the win. I'm just like, why? And then afterwards, what didn't help either is that, Gia, I love you, girl, but you never know to never let Frankie grab the mic, because we don't care. So Frankie had some harsh words for people, especially our TNA International Champion, Steve Macklin, Lockjaw McGraw over here, which then prompts, Macklin to come down to the ring, and I'm just like, and here we go. Here's the next feud for Macklin, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm not here for this. I was like, damn, Macklin, what'd they do? Like, I was like, what did you do?
Frankie is not that important. Why are we making him important? Why are we putting him in situations that make him look important when he's not? I mean, absolutely not. Personally, I'm like, Macklin, don't waste your time. It's literally a waste of time to fight
He,
Frankie Kazarian.
he's just there for the paycheck.
Yeah, just don't engage. That's all I want to say, people. Don't
Listen, and you know what? Like, because I can already tell people are going to be like, well, these two are kind of beefing because, when Jake something had their feud going into it, Frankie was trying to stir the pot. I was just like, did we not watch the same thing? Because I remember very distinctly us talking about that, talk show segment between Zarian, Jake, and Macklin here, and it being utter duty. It was like, it was so bad. I was like, what the flip are we talking about? But I'm really hoping this is a Victory Road feud and not
A Bound for Glory feud. This would make me so angry. This is not
so
heavy enough. It's not big enough.
no.
Frankie
And I'm
Kazarian is not important.
like, for reals. Anyways, so I'm really hoping, and as crazy it is to say, I'm really hoping this is a Victory Road feud for this championship and not lead into Bound for Glory because Macklin deserves better, and Frankie as a champion would be so utterly obnoxious, not even going front. But we got to move on though, because next up we have the Inspiration. I love you girls down. They're going to keep their eye out on what happens on the Elegance celebration later in this episode. And they have their eyes on the prize of the TNA Knockouts Championships. And all I have to say is, I love you girls, but we got to get it together because last couple weeks, we've been kind of looking sloppy. We ain't doing anything with you. Like, I need you girls to give me some. That's what we're missing here. I was like, you got the charisma, but I need that intensity. Beat a bitch up. I don't know.
There you go.
And I was
Yeah.
just like, y'all don't have to go full heel, but like the Elegance brand is annoying. Beat them up, fight them, pull their hairs, like, kick them. I don't know, do something intense because we have so many baby faces in this Knockouts tag team division, and the Elegance brand are technically the only heels. It's so lopsided. I was like, I'm not asking you girls to be full heels, but damn, pull some hair, like gouge an eye, like break a nail, do something. I feel so sexist saying that, but seriously, I was just like, give me some intensity, damn it.
Here's the thing. It's like, how do we distinguish them from the Elegance brand? Because right now, they're basically interchangeable in their tactic, or not tactic, but in their sort of, and then you have the Elegance brand that's the exact same thing. And it's like, and they're all blondes. I mean,
Yep.
you got to give me something new.
Diversify a little bit.
yeah.
Something. Come on.
Well, and then we talked about it last week too, even though they weren't blonde, like Fatal Influence was the same. They're like a copy and cut version too. There are too many pretty girl tag teams in wrestling in general. And I'm just like, y'all, I know that's a big wrestling trope and that's like a big writing trope, but come on now. Like, listen, I, as a fellow Bi-Con, love me some Hot Girl Summer and Fat Boy Falls. But at the same time, I was just like, not all of you can be looking like Barbie out here. We got to diversify our portfolio, so to speak. Just give me some more intensity because, like, the Elegance brand with these championships is fun, but we're not doing anything fun with everybody else coming to challenge them. Everyone's too nice, and I'm just like, beat a bitch up.
See, like Elegance brand, they're like, Mean Girls. These two need to be like Heathers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here for the Heathers.
It needs to be like, hey, you want to be our
Well-
friend? Come be our friend. And then we're going to basically kill you and stuff you in a trunk.
All they're currently doing right now is trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah,
I want to be Damien so bad at the situation. She doesn't even go here.
exactly.
Oh.
It's just,
Honestly, the amount of things I can. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do for this soundboard. We're gonna get Mean Girl quotes. Get in, loser. We're going shopping. Or I have ESPN. Oh, the 2000s. You were a staple of my childhood. Yes, I'm young. Eat it. Anyways, girls, Inspiration, I love you so much, but we got to do something different. And I'm really hoping we do something in the next 2 pay-per-views with you too. Moving on. I'm not going to lie, as sad as it is to say, this was probably my favorite part of the whole episode, just because it was funny watching, the painting of Ash by Elegance. The baby faces actually did something fun and they rip that thing to shred. Also, somebody in the comments letted me know, like, gave me a horrible idea, but I'm here for chaos, right? But I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. First and foremost, girls, y'all look good. I'm not going to, first I gotta give some kudos because y'all were looking on point. Hair on fleek, outfits looking great. I love seeing all these championships on you because it's been funny because as much as we've been bashing the championship scene for both the Knockouts and the Knockouts tag team, I'm actually really happy that a faction is actually holding, the 2 big titles in the Knockouts division, and you could do some fun stuff with it, but we are not right now. But it was really fun. This was a fun celebration, and you know what? Shout out to Ash. I have a soft spot for her. She is such now outside of character-wise, she's a really sweet person. She is the first wrestler to allow us as BC WrestlePod to actually start interviewing wrestlers, and she was nice enough to give us an interview 2 summers ago. So I love Ash for that. And she's so muscular, guys. Don't let the size fool you. Like when she came up and when I talked to her, I'm like, damn, I can see the abs through your denim jacket, girl. I was like, oh no. But shout out to Ash. I'm so happy she's champion, and we talked about this last week. I mean, we don't like the optics of how she won it because that heat wave, it kind of didn't make a lot of sense. But I am happy to see Ash with the championship. Now, we still have the same issue during the second half of this celebration because Masha comes out and I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're setting this up, bound for glory. This is going to be fun. And we kind of get a rematch, but it is not set for Bound for Glory, which makes me kind of confused. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But then Masha gets in the ring. Then, of course, the Elegance brand have the numbers on Masha. Then we have Zaya. I love Zaya Brookside. She's just booking it. And Liang Lee, I love you, girl, but I don't know if it was the cowboy boots you were wearing, but she was like having a hard time keeping up and trying to run as fast into the ring. And then all of a sudden, the Inspiration Girls come out. I was like, so this is great. So it's just like, it's the same thing we've been getting with the whole Knockouts division with these teams. Everybody, the baby faces come out. It's a big brawl between the Elegance brand and everyone. The faces are in the ring. They destroy the painting. Great meme from the concierge, George Iceman, just like sadly caressing the broken face of the Ash's painting. That was a good money shot. I'm just going to put this on the screen because I have questions, right? So, should get a rematch given the fact that Masha was the one to take the pin at Heatwave, might I add. So, listen, Masha in championship matches, I'm not going to lie, I'm always here for. Don't care how we get there. I'm just puzzled the fact that this is for Victory Road. And then what we get later with our triple threat also has me have questions. I'm going to give my full conspiracy theory when we get to that particular triple threat, though. But the first match is made officially for Victory Road. Ash by Elegance versus Masha Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Again, Victory Road will be taking place Friday, September 27th in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So we're going to be in Canada for this one. So I'm confused with this. I was like, okay.
I love Masha Slamovich. I love her so much, but I mean, I really don't. And I mean, again, that's nothing negative against her because I freaking love her. But I'm just like, girl, you had your shots.
The rules of wrestling and the optics have kind of. So let's recap, right? So Masha loses the championship to JC Jane at Slammiversary, right? So, and might I add, JC won clean. There was no shenanigans. Technically she ran into the turnbuckle, so there was some shenanigans there, right? Then we've been playing keep away with the title with JC. Then we get the triple threat made official for Heatwave. So JC knocks Masha out, but the Elegance brand pulls JC out so Ash can capitalize and be the one to pin Masha to become the new TNA Knockouts champion in, at NXT's Heatwave. And we kind of already talked about a heat wave. JC did not do anything with this championship either. Like, they were so afraid of having her get pinned. And I'm just like, so you couldn't let JC get pinned. So we threw a triple threat, but y'all gonna let Trick Williams be pinned by Mike Santana. Like, I don't see the logic. Like, what is happening? But Masha, girl, I love you. Lost twice, girl. Like, and this is probably gonna be a third. Or some shenanigans are going to go down, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but I love Masha, but damn, what are we doing?
Yep.
I was like, this is what happens when you don't build other women contenders up.
I think there's going to be some tomfoolery in this Victory Road match.
I put snacks and money and all sorts of things that this will not end cleanly, which, I'm going to save that until we get to, our triple threat. So again, Masha, Ash, title, Victory Road. I'm really upset because I like this. But again, I was just like, where was this a few weeks ago? What's happening? I was just like, we had a feud with Joe Hendry and Mustafa Ali. And then, you know what? We could have had a fun feud where it's like, you know what? This doesn't need to be for a championship. Who is the true face of TNA? Let Ali be like delusional, the face of TNA. This could have been fun. But I love this promo, but for what? Like, it didn't tell us who he's feuding with. It doesn't like enhance a story. Like, I'm just like, this was nice, but where are we going? I don't understand. I hate when we get actually pretty decent promos and vignettes and they just don't add anything to any type of story or feud. Anyways, also what did
I don't know what's happening either. A lot of these sort of gimmicks in TNA are starting to feel as though they've gone past their well. fourth order thing I think has lost its momentum, and it's just okay, you're a bunch of thugs. Okay, big freaking deal. Who cares? I don't care about you. Not about Mustafa Ali, but the fourth order thing. It's dumb. It's absolutely dumb. And I'm sorry. And then there's the big dude that keeps knocking everybody down.
Sure. But I'm like, again, why?
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm not on board with it. I truly don't.
Yeah, this has been one of those things like for going on a good couple months now that like they had such a good lineup and the rivalries were all like they made so much sense. And now you're just like, what like
Uh-huh.
why what's going on? Like are you guys trying a new gimmick and you're going to test the waters and see how it feels because right now that's not like Will was saying, it's not working. Like, we need to kinda back this up, you know, like, months ago, back this up.
And you know what? I feel like a broken record every single time I say this, but like ever since I'm gonna be straight up, I think ever since after even since the rebellion, everything after rebellion has been really weird for TNA. We're telling stories not in the correct sequential order. We're just throwing random feuds together. We have two factions that are on the verge of, being put it on an FBI most wanted list in some capacity. Like, I'm afraid we're gonna see a hate crime. We've kind of seen hate crimes already since then, and I'm just like, what is
Well, I mean, even
happening?
with Agent Zero, like clotheslining, what's her name? Oh God, her name.
Mara Sade.
Yeah.
That was Listen, I'm here for intergender
Oh, me
fighting,
too.
but not like that was. Oh, I was
That
like,
was
ooh,
brutality. That was brutality, and
that
there's a
was
difference.
overkill, which was nuts.
Like what happened later on in the mat, that made sense.
Right, and we're gonna talk about that when we get to
Yeah,
the main event. But
that clothesline, I was borderline icked out on
I
that.
was like, this is wild. Listen, I'm here for intergender, but like we gotta make it work and it's gotta make sense. But
And today's episode is brought to you by Ick.
Really is.
don't worry, we're gonna get to the real ick factor here in a little bit because I was just like, oh my God, I was so disappointed with this match. I was like, I don't know if everyone was. Now, it would be one thing if it was one person who was having an off day, but this was really sloppy. And I'm so sad for everybody
Yep.
involved in this match. I felt like, Lord forbid, Danny Luna, I love you, girl. You tried your best, and I give you the MVP points because you were trying to carry everybody else. But Indy did not look great. She missed a couple spots. Jody was not doing good. Danny, bless her heart, tried, but even she was having a rough go. I felt like I was watching this match in slow motion. And like, even in slow motion, they were missing spots. So this is supposed to be a number one contenders match. And we learned that the winner of this match goes on to Bound for Glory to face for the Knockouts Championship. And I'm just like, everything in this match, what we got was not good. And I'm just like, man, this did not feel like a number one contenders match. Like, I don't know what happened. This was rough. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying it's the worst match I've seen this year, because I've seen some pretty shitty ones.
Close.
But this was really bad. Oh my goodness. I was so disappointed. And I was just like, girls, we tried, but I have to, it hurts my little heart to say this because I always try to give performers the benefit of the doubt. But oh my God.
We'll just blame it on the fact that it was live. That's gotta be it.
I mean, even still, I was just like, I know you three can do better than this. So, yes, it being live might also be a thing. But at the same time, I was just like, damn, girls, this was not a good match. And Indy, I love you. Yeah, we need to do better. Oof. Indy wins, so she's going to Bound for Glory. But I was like, girl, it did not feel like nobody won in this match to me. Nobody won.
I agree. It felt slow and sloppy and directionless. Like I didn't really know. I mean, I didn't know what the match was for. I mean, it didn't. This literally felt like a vengeance match. This was like Danny Luna's match to get in the ring and basically go, "Screw you, bitches! I'm gonna beat you all up."
And I mean, I get it because with wrestling, you want it because technically, since Ash is a heel, you want a baby face of some capacity to go up against her. But even still, I'm just like, I love Indy Hartwell, but I'm gonna be so real with you guys. Even as bad as this match was, I was kind of rooting for Danny to win because, well, here's the thing, right? And I'm not saying that Danny Luna needs to become the next Jordan Grace for TNA, but of all the knockouts we have in this division, to me, Danny Luna is the closest to, filling the powerhouse wrestler void that Jordan Grace left when she went to WWE. And for her being only like 23 years old is nuts. So love her down. And Indy's really great too. And Jody's really great too. But like, this was not it. And again,
So
Indy winning leads to this, right? So I'm so sad because this is where my conspiracy theory goes. I'm like, I smell shenanigans at Victory Road and I smell a triple threat, which I'm like, not again.
this doesn't make any sense. And and I agree with what you're saying with Danny Luna, but with what they are doing with Danny Luna, I don't see her being a champion anytime soon.
No, you're right. As much as it pains me to say it, you're right.
Because right now she's sort of like uncontrollable. And it's like, and personally, if I was the promoter for this, this company, I would be like, no, this character is too unpredictable. We don't want that in a championship spot, And then I look at this trio, and of course, I love my Ash, but out of the three, Ash is the logical choice.
Which is crazy to say, but yeah, it makes the most sense for her to hold this title right now because again, so this match as it's advertised for right now, whoever wins at Victory Road will be the one to face Indy. I love you, but you have not done enough to get to the one of the big 4 pay-per-views for you one feud with Tessa Blanchard, but that's it.
I think it's going to end up being Ash and Masha I mean, I like Indy. I think she's great. I think she has the potential to be great, but I think she's too young. And I don't mean like age-wise. I mean inexperienced.
Yeah,
Right, she literally just signed in April.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely making a name for herself,
Yep.
but it's a little too soon.
So I think it's going to be this is going to be between Ash and Masha.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Again, it could be those two. It could be a triple threat. We still have we got to get through all of September first, and then we will know more as we get closer. So I'm gonna be so for real. Whatever happens at Victory Road is definitely going to play and finalize what we're going to see at Bound for Glory, which is crazy to say. But as of right now, it is either Ash or Masha versus Indy at Bound for Glory. But we shall see if that's going to stay that way come, October.
Hi, Poppy.
I mean, yes, right? Because Joe Hendry is, right?
Yes, indeed.
Be like, we love me some Scottish Joe Hendry. Be like, to give me a piece of that. Oh, wait, no, I was like, let me keep it nice. Let me keep it nice and clean because the things I would say and do for this man. Anyways, so, but for right now.
Hi, Poppy.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, JT, you made the joke earlier. It's just like this episode brought to you by the word it, right?
Yep.
So hang on, Lord help us.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to get the legal team to not, protect us when we talk about this because, okay, well, now that that's out of the way, I got to prepare myself. Joe Hendry comes out. The crowd loves him. We love him. He doesn't want to waste time. And he calls out Eric Young, right? I did not include pictures because I was so tempted, but I'm going to be so for real, guys. Eric Young, this whole entire time he was talking with, got the crackhead eyes.
Lord.
I was terrified of Eric Young the whole entire time and not in the fun way. I was just like,
he's TNA skinhead.
That's
not wrong.
Okay.
No, seriously.
So let's have that conversation, right? So I'm like, okay, Eric Young, Joe Hendry, not necessarily the feud that I want, but you know what? I'll take it. Let's see what happens. And then Eric Young spoke, and I'm like, oh my God, it is 2025. I know that the political landscape in the United States is fucking wild right now, but holy shit, TNA. And listen, Papa also and I give shit to NXT for the calling, right? And that group and that name alone. I think TNA unfortunately took the crown of, being the furthest we have ever gone to, white supremacy in wrestling.
Yep.
Holy shit. And again, I don't know if this is because Eric Young is just doing this because he's being told that this is what it is. I really hope I don't want to find out that you actually were okay with this because then I have questions and they're not fun ones.
I'm not going to lie, though. Even if he's doing it because he's being told to do it, it's still bad.
It really is. The optics are still
if
not
it were
great.
me, I would be like, fire me. I'm not doing that.
Be like, I don't think so.
Because once you have that on you, you'll never get rid of it.
So Eric Young begins talking and, it started off okay because he talks about, you know what, Joe Hendry, I don't like you. I don't like that the fans like you. I was like, okay, you know what? We're kind of moving away from what we were doing before. And then He kept going, and then he's like, "The cleanse is coming." I'm like, "God damn it!" It's like, what the fuck? Okay, we're far enough in. This is where I'm gonna curse a lot. Sorry, guys, but fuck are we doing? I am so Listen, I have seen a lot of crazy things in my as my short time as a wrestling fan in the last like 6 or 7 years. I always said that I am a survivor of the 2010s WWE booking because that was the dark ages of WWE wrestling. But my God, I think Eric Young in this whole storyline has probably taken the cake when we do the end of the year podcast for probably the worst thing in wrestling this year and the most ick.
Problematic.
Oh my God, I was
But
so
also,
uncomfortable.
was it Saint and Sinner? Is that their names? I can't remember what their names are.
Yeah,
But
Sinner and Saint. Yep.
first of all, home dude on the left was like a mini version of Eric Young, and he had the eyes. He was like, and then my dude on the right was like having some kind of fit. I don't know what was going on with him, but he was like mouthing something and shaking and
So Judas, yeah, so
tweaking.
Judas Icarus, the one with the long hair, I'm like, all right, listen here, you Casey from the Ninja Turtles wannabe. Sit your ass. I don't know what's going on over there, but you are freaking me out. And then homeboy in the sweatshirt, I was like, I'm gonna be so for real. You are the most normal thing in this whole entire segment right now because he's just staring at Joe Hendry. I was like, he's thinking about he's thinking about why am I here? I'm stuck in this. What the fuck am I doing? But
So bad.
Eric Young says that he's going to continue the cleanse and it's going to continue with Joe Hendry because he's going to cleanse Joe Hendry from the TNA locker room. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, listen, cleanse in 2025 is kind of crazy to say, right? Especially
Okay,
when we're describing.
I want to say something about
Go
that.
for it.
Words are important. And what I mean by that is you need to listen to the words that people use. The term cleansing is intentional, not accidental. Now, these people may go, oh, well, we're talking about, this, that, and the other. Doesn't matter what they say they're talking about. The connotation of what that word holds, the history that it holds, you can go all the way back through time and see that word being used to do horrible things. So words matter because they could have easily used the purging. Now we all know the purge. That's, the movie where people, one day out of the year, everybody gets to go out and kill people. Yay. The purge has no true connotations of like genocide. And I have a huge problem with it. It is really difficult for me to even support to watch the show whenever I see them on it. Because it's like, to me, it's like whoever is running TNA now behind the screens is okay with the visuals of a white bald man leading this faction and using the word cleanse. That is not a good picture, but they're okay with it. And that is problematic to me. So I'm just putting that out in the universe that words are important, people. Pay attention to the words that people use. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate the words. And listen, I want to take the time and say that, as much as the ups and downs we have with wrestling across all the shows that we have here at BC WrestlePod, right? The one thing that is always consistent, and I'm going to give some kudos and some love to my hosts, is that all of us just have no time for the bullshit in wrestling, especially when it comes to stuff like this. So I am very appreciative as a Latino kid who is running this podcast and running this empire that I have allies, I will say the non-melanated because it's funnier that way, but the non-melanated folks are here and are standing up for all this bullshit because this is wild, the fact that we even have to have this conversation. I was just like, this is 2025. Like, what are we doing? And so, again, because of what we are telling in this story to fuel this feud for Joe Hendry and Eric Young, I was just like, I am watching two white men fight. And I'm rooting for Joe Hendry to be our deliverance from whatever the flip Eric Young is going to go with this. And guys, I am so afraid it's going to get so much worse from here. And that's what scares me. I was just like, I am so scared that Eric Young is going to take it a step further. And I'm going to be so for real. If it crosses that line, I think for me personally, we're going to have to reevaluate what we're doing with TNA. Because I was like, please don't do this. Carlos Silva, the president of TNA, what are we doing? Like, what is happening? Anyways, but Joe Hendry and Eric Young are going to be fighting next week. So I'm just like, this is going to lead to Victory Road. I was just like, this is not going to be a clean fight next week. So I'm just like, whatever. We'll still be here to review it, unfortunately. But let's move on to a little bit of a bright spot. And again, you have this, and then we go talking to the youngest and the blackest champion right now in TNA too. The optics are nuts. But Leon Slater is backstage and he's talking to Santino. He's looking for a challenger. And I'm like, you know what, Leon Slater? I agree with you. We need we need some challenges for you because I was so happy that you won the championship at Slammiversary. But now that you are kind of done or for right now with your feud with, Cedric Alexander, I need you to start fighting some other folks. And so Leon Slater mentioned some people, one of them being Jake Something, which I would be here for. And hopefully it turns into a better feud than what we saw with Macklin and Jake Something. And also, this was the part of the show when I was like, damn, Santino, I can see that shiner better. I was like, you got knocked the fudge out. So I wanted to bring this up. I forgot to bring it up during the Elegance brand celebration, but somebody in the comments let me know an idea. And I was like, oh my God, this is a chaotic idea. It's horrible. And I'm here for it, right? So we know that Jake has kind of been, floating, if you will, in TNA right now. I mean, he was out on injury. He came back and he's kind of been floating for the last month or so, right? I'm not saying it would be the best idea because I don't trust TNA to do this, but I'm here for some funny, chaotic stuff. Imagine Jake Something is the first male member of House of Elegance, Jake by Elegance, and I'm fucking here for it. Just imagine again, he was so good as a comedy character. And I'm not saying that every wrestler needs to be a comedy character, but the things they can do with this big 6'4" hairy beast of a man and just have him come out in crop tops and shit would be the best thing on the planet. Give me Zoolander. That's what I'm here for.
Has his signature finisher is blue steel.
Love all of that.
Listen, TNA, I will allow you to please take that idea and run with it. We got ideas, please. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but it would be amazing to have Jake do that, but I digress. But that's the other thing too. I'm really hoping that Leon gets some good challengers because right now Leon is also starting to kind of float. I mean, him and Cedric had their match at Emergence, and then they teamed up against the Hardys. And now Leon is looking for the next challenger. And I was like, me too. I want this championship raid to be fun for Leon. So let's give him some good matches and some good feuds.
This picture 100% makes him look like
He's so
Yeah.
him and Santino are about to. And I'm just kidding.
he apparently loves himself a black eye.
No. That's how Santino really got the black eye. Santino took lessons from Mance Warner and Steph DeLander, and he was knocking boots in the office.
Oh Lord!
Coming in my next video for our BC WrestlePod op-eds, be like, Santino, bi or gay, and top or bottom. We'll take our. I'm so for real. As funny as it is, we'll talk about it after the show because I want to entertain this idea because it's so stupid, but great. Alrighty, let's get into it. We're finally at our main event. This is Order 4, which is the Great Hands and Tasha Steelz taking on the team of Mara Sade and the Hardys. I will say though, the ending did make me be like, I'm actually digging that angle. But as far as the match itself goes, I like all 6 of these individuals. I thought this was a fun enough match. Again, Mari's ring gear for this match was on fire, giving homage and cosplay to wrestling legend herself, Lita.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Of course, who has a history with the Hardys, which is very, very nice. And you know what? I have to say, the Great Hands, I love you. I'm ready for as a tag team. I just feel bad for everybody now that we're stuck in Order 4. And Tasha, girl, I was actually really excited because you took that table spot at Rebellion with Mike Santana throwing you through the table, which was crazy. But now I'm just like, I am happy to see you wrestling though, so that's good. But yeah, I like this match enough. The Hardys and Mara do pick up the victory here, and we'll talk about in a little bit the post-angle stuff. But Papa Oso, what did you think of our main event?
Yeah, it was all right. I enjoyed it. I did. I'm so over Order 4 though. And I don't know. It's like, I don't know who Tasha Steelz is anymore. Like she's not her anymore.
I don't think she knows who she is anymore.
I agree. I don't either. And for that, And also the Great Hands, I think they're losing their way too. And I think it's because of this faction they're in. I think this faction needs to go away. I think Tasha needs to become a solo fighter and she needs to get into the freaking knockouts, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like Tasha as part of the singles knockouts championship division would definitely help out because then you would have Ash, Masha, Tasha as like your big powerhouses. And then honestly,
Because she got her shit knocked out of her, and then I thought it would have been great if she had just took I don't know who it was that she was, which of the two it was. I can't remember which one of the Great Hands she was fighting with. Who got pinned? Was it? Can't remember. But him over her or so. It's just like I wish that she had been the one to kind of vindicate. I think that would have been cool. Because the Hardys didn't need this fight. There was nothing about this fight that's gonna do anything for them. But for Mara though, it meant something. And I really wish that she had gotten the pin.
right, especially with her getting her shit rocked last week. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, it would have been poetic justice. So again, the Hardys and Mara Sade pick up the victory here, but they could not celebrate for long because everybody gets super kicked. Everyone gets, sweet chinned music. The Hardys go down. Nick Nemeth delivers a really nasty looking super kick to Mara, who sold it beautifully. And as soon as I saw Nick Nemeth in this outfit, I was just like,
doesn't even go here.
don't think I didn't see somebody add that button to our soundboard.
You're welcome.
And here's the thing, right? I'm like, okay, now you have me intrigued with the Hardys and the Nemeths fighting, which are probably going to be for the tag titles, either at Victory Road or Bound for Glory. I was like, now you have me excited.
It's got to be Victory Road. Nowhere.
Well, actually, yeah, it is for Victory Road because I forgot the Hardys already have a match for Bound for Glory.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was
like, never mind. But
Yeah,
I was like, okay, color me intrigued.
Yeah, but then again, here's this incestuousness again. The way the two of them are, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic and it kind of creeps me out. It is truly
Go here.
seriously.
JT is dying over here because of our
We've-
soundboard.
We've given Mikey too much power.
I know.
No, not you have given me too much power. StreamYard has given us too much power. Because let me tell you, not just for BC Wrestle Pod, but I have so many. I literally we'll talk afterwards because we're on air. So we'll talk afterwards about it. But this is how we ended TNA, which, you know what? I was like, okay, color me intrigued. And that is how TNA goes off the air. Again, live episode was something. It was tough. I was just like, I like all this talent, but this was not a fun episode.
It wasn't.
Hopefully they can redeem themselves here soon.
Hopefully. And I was just like, hopefully next week is better.
Because we have 2 weeks before Victory Road, or is it
3? So we
okay?
So we have 3. So the way that it's gonna look, and this is actually leading into what I'm gonna talk about for the remainder of our schedule, which is only one more thing this weekend. But we have a TNA review next week. Then the following week we're gonna have off because, well, depending if you, Papa, also your schedule works it'll be me, you, and Adolfo. We are going to be watching the CMLL Anniversario show live like we did last year. So that's going to be fun. And then the Go Home Show review and do our predictions for Victory Road. And then gets crazier. So then the following week after that, the first Friday of October, we'll be reviewing Victory Road. And then 2 weeks later is Bound for Glory. I'm like, oh my God, we are actually here. It's crazy. And then TNA broke the news that they are going to round out their 2025 tour. They are going to be going to Florida in November for 2 days worth of tapings. And then in December in Texas for 2 days of taping as well. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, TNA, please don't give us a November and December pay-per-view. I am okay after Bound for Glory with not having any pay-per-views for the rest of the year. I'm like, please. But we'll see what happens with all of that. But that's going to be it for us here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love that you were here watching us. Or if you watch the replay, we love you watching the replay as well. But the 3 of us are going to get up on out of here. So until next time, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay Bi-Conic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will catch you Sunday for our WWE review. But until then, and peace.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.